Hey, I'm David Mathews with Spark of Life. At Spark of Life, we work with those who are grieving, who have experienced devastated loss. All those losses are not necessarily death losses. There are devastating non-death losses as well: betrayal, loss of a career, loss of health, loss of a spouse through divorce. Maybe you've been abandoned by your spouse, even loss of parents when, for example, a parent might have abandoned the family when you were a little girl or boy and your father never remembered a birthday. Those are all non-death devastating losses. So we're in a series of the top 10 things that we can share with you about maybe helping you through the day today in a little grief tip. And one thing this is number 9, and number 8 was you're in charge of your own recovery. You know what you can do. This is number 9 now. Number 9 is give yourself permission to be thankful. Thankful for what you have and not all the focus on who you've lost. Now, this doesn't occur right at first when I experience devastating loss. I can't even think straight when let's say an accident takes your loved one away, or cancer or disease, or somebody walks out on you and just abandons you and betrays you, like a spouse who leaves you, or a father or mother who rejected you for whatever reason. Those are devastating losses. And for a while, I'm so consumed with the loss, it's overwhelming. I can't even think about being grateful for a while. But boy, gratitude is one of the key essentials, one of the key building blocks to a healthy recovery. And after being in the depths of the pit of grief, and all I can think about is the loss, that's normal and natural. It doesn't mean you're ungrateful, and it doesn't mean you're being self-centered. It means you're grieving. Everybody got that? You're grieving. Permission to grieve. Give yourself that permission. But as we work through the grief and the loss, eventually, I need to focus not on just what I've lost or who I've lost. I need to also focus on who I have left. This happens a lot when somebody loses a child, for example, and they're so devastated. Of course, you're devastated, and you think life can never be the same, and it won't ever be the same again. But life can still be rich and good. So how do I get there? How do I get there? Well, we've known some parents who all the focus is on who they lost. They have other children. And sometimes the children, now parents don't mean to do this, but sometimes the other child gets kind of lost in the grief of his parents because it's all about the one they've lost. Now, obviously, parents experience devastating loss when they lose a child. Obviously, that's true. And it's not easy. And it's not easy. But healthy parents also recognize who they have. So they're grateful for who they have. And other losses as well. So a parent walks out on me, for example. Let's say that happened to you many years ago, and you're still devastated by it, right? Or a spouse left you. Well, it's really healthy after you get through the initial deep grief and you're still in grief to remember something that you have and not just focus on what you've lost. It's called a healthy recovery. When I say, you know what, I have the right to feel terrible. I've lost the dearest on earth to me. I have the right to go to the pit of grief. In fact, I need to go there. That's healthy, even though it feels terrible. But I also have the right to get up in the morning and wash my face and say, you know what, today, I'm going to write down one thing I have right now that I'm thankful for. And it might be my spouse. It could be my other children, or it could be my mother who stayed and not just focus on my father who betrayed the family, but a mother who loved me no matter what. Or it could be your health. It could be any kind of gratitude. So today's grief tip is when you're feeling like you can't go on, why don't you just take a minute, write down, what are you grateful for today? What is it that you have today? And in our next grief tip, we're going to be talking about the power of today. We're going to talk about that in our grief tip number 10, but this is number 9. So I can't go there yet, even though I just went there. What are you thankful for today that you have? That doesn't minimize your grief. That helps you navigate the grief a little better. I still have some things that are worth being thankful for. What is that for you today? Write it down and have a great day as you think about what you still have while giving yourself permission to still grieve who you've lost. At Spark of Life, there is always, always hope. Go to sparkoflife.org sparkoflife.org for more grief help. We've got so many things to offer you. Go there. If you know a friend who really needs some grief help, lead them to sparkoflife.org, where our heartbeat is to walk beside those who are grieving and try to give them hope. Hope that the life can never be the same after loss. Life can still be good. You can still have joy again. Spark of Life, where there's always hope.